asked me that who's my closest friend. We were both in your room on Giddy Fire's bed. I remember very well.
No, you're talking about a different conversation. When I asked you that one,
I remember
it was on the dining table.
I'm talking about
sitting outside. She can come here and tell me to my face that I came to meet her.
Why did I have to like? Because now you said a lot of
Do you know the funny thing? I never told her anything that you said about her to me.
Because some people will be like, oh, you were like this upstairs, you came downstairs, and you're like this, you know, that kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, why is this guy quiet?
Hey. So Deji can be humble like this. So Deji can, bring himself down and go and meet Doyin to talk to Doyin. Hey, happy new month too. And September is doing a lot already. I don't know if Deji just felt like it's a new month, let us start afresh, and that was why he had that discussion with Doyin, because I was not even expecting it. Judging from the way he was talking to who was he even talking to? I think it was Giddy Fire, or I can't even remember who. After the Sunday Live Eviction show, that was saying if Doyin talks about him to any other person in the house, he's going to change it for her, he's going to this, he's going to that. That same Deji that was making mouth, that was bragging that day, was the one that started this conversation with Doyin today. Hey, joke. I won't even lie to you guys, like I was really shocked. I'm still shocked. But then, let me just get over it small so we can get into the details of this video. So Doyin and Deji had a conversation about the bad blood that has been between them for a while now. They've not really addressed it, but today, Deji was just pacing up and down in the kitchen, moving up and down like somebody that is looking for something. And Doyin was there in the kitchen, so she was dancing, but I was playing music. And Deji was just pacing up and down. He was looking for a chance to talk to Doyin. Eventually, he got that chance. He moved closer to Doyin, and he started the conversation with her, and they talked about it for a while before they got a brief. And that brief, people that gave the housemates a very funny task as well. And also, Doyin and Groovy also made up. So a lot of things happened during just now, a few hours ago, and we are going to be going into the details of the things that happened in the Level Up Mansion. You're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Damuski. On this channel, we talk about movies, reality TV shows, web, and TV series. So if that's something that you like, consider subscribing to my channel and turn post notification on so as not to miss any of my videos. So that said, let us get straight into this video. Like I said, you guys already know how Doyin and Deji, started their fight. It was because of Deji, before Doyin actually liked Deji when they were still in level 1. So, and then she liked him, and then the guy, they made it clear to Doyin that, I don't think we can have anything romantic to do with each other, but we can just be friends, blah, blah, blah. But then Doyin was applying pressure at that time. But then she accepted defeat, and, she, just wanted to be friends with Deji. So one day they were having a conversation, and she asked Deji who his closest person in the house is, and then Deji mentioned Chichi as the female, and then the male Dotsu. And then as at that time, Deji and Chichi, they were already getting close. Not that they were having anything to do with each other, but they were close, and they were always doing things together. And at that time, Chichi now, they calm down. That was how she went to insult Adekule, that Adekule is not a lover of beautiful things. Adekule wants to scatter a ship, blah, blah, blah. I don't know, the ship that has not even formed. That was the same energy she channeled towards Doyin. So she was saying Doyin wants to snatch a man from her, Doyin wants to take Deji away from her, but she was not saying it directly. She was saying some people want to scatter my ship, some people want to snatch my man, some people want to this. She called Doyin a bitch. Doyin just felt disrespected, and Doyin already asked Deji if there is something going on between himself and Chichi, and Deji said no. So another day, Doyin walked into the room and she saw Deji and Chichi under the duvet. So she was surprised and shocked to see that. So you told me you and this person are not nothing, are not an item, but then I'm seeing the both of you under the duvet. In conjunction with the indirect insult and indirect jabs that Chichi has been throwing towards her, she just added everything together and decided to stop talking to Deji, because she felt like Deji did not tell her that he was having something with Chichi, that she would have taken a step back, and Chichi would not have insulted her, saying she wants to take a man, accusing her of wanting to steal a man, blah blah blah. So that was when they stopped talking. And Ebuka asked question last Sunday, also asked Deji about Doyin. So after the live eviction show, Chichi and Doyin had a conversation, and then Doyin went to tell Deji. So then Deji was angry. He was saying, if Doyin talks about him to any other housemate in that house, that he's going to change it for her, that he's going to do this. He was saying all sorts of things. And then today, I think yesterday they were in the same team during the Airtel task. Yes. And then today, Doyin was alone in the kitchen. She was dancing. Big Brother was playing music. And then Deji was also in the main lounge. So Deji was just moving up and down. Doyin was facing the mirror and she was just vibing and dancing to music. And Deji was just walking past her, and then Deji was just pacing up and down, like as if he was looking for something. He was just pacing up and down. Then after he was tired of pacing, Baba went to meet Doyin to have that conversation. And then they were talking. They were talking about back when Chichi was insulting Doyin. Doyin said that was what pained her the most, that she felt insulted and disgraced and blah blah blah. So that if she had known that something was going on between Doyin, Deji and Chichi, that she would have taken a step back. And Chichi was accusing her of wanting to take her man. And Deji was like, as at that time, they are just vibing. It's not as if they are in a ship or anything like that. But Doyin said, as at that time, Chichi made it look like you guys were in a ship or doing something. So the way she was insulting me indirectly, blah blah blah, and Deji was like, no, we are not in a ship. Oh, they were just going back and forth. And then Kayode did the nonsense that he normally does. He went on ad break, and when they came back, they already finished their discussion, and Deji was like, we are going to talk later, because they got a brief. The head of house read the brief to the housemates, so they are going to be having the discussion later, and probably they're going to have it properly. But then I'm looking forward to the second conversation. But I'm really glad that they had this conversation, and I don't even but then it was really funny to see that Deji that was making mouth could bring himself down to talk to Doyin. Anyways, let us move on to the task that the housemate got. So Big Brother gave them a fun task. So for today, the housemates are basically not to put on their shoe on their left leg, so they are only to put on the shoe on their right leg. And Big Brother said they are to do that until further notice, that they are not to break that rule until Big Brother says so. So that's just their fun task for today. Now moving on to Doyin and Groovy. You guys already know Groovy has been nominating Doyin like back to back now. He nominated Doyin last 2 weeks. Was it last 2 weeks? Okay, last week, yes. And he nominated Doyin this week again for the immediate eviction. And he was hiding under the disguise of air, because Doyin does not put in her best to task and all of that. But guess what? That was not the reason. Apparently, when Big Brother moved Groovy to level 1, when they were still level 1, he moved Groovy to level 1. And when Groovy went into level 1, he was lively, and he was, he had this high spirit, high energy, and he was always active, talking to people, having conversations. And then, but when they merged the two houses together, and Doyin noticed that Groovy has gone quiet. So Doyin was now spreading this thing around that but when we were upstairs, Groovy was always active, but now Groovy has rested, and he's now quiet now, and he's now that. So when Groovy heard about that thing, he was really angry about it. But then today, himself and Doyin, they had a conversation. We do not know how that conversation even started, because they were showing somewhere else before, but now we just saw them in the lounge after they read the brief that they've started talking. And then Doyin apologized to Groovy for saying that, and she said she's not going to say it again in private, whether in private or in public. But they apologized and they've squashed their beef. And Groovy was just explaining that it was because of they moved him to level 1, and he felt as though he was he was just a new housemate on the show, so he needed to mingle with the other housemate. That was why he was on a high energy level. But now that they've merged the two houses together, I just felt like there was no need for all of that anymore. So that was why it was like that. So they've squashed their beef. They've talked about it. Doyin has apologized, and they were still talking at the time I'm making this video. So yeah, they just ended their fight, and that was that. So let me know your thoughts about the whole thing, the task that Big Brother gave to them, Deji and Doyin conversation, and also Groovy and Doyin conversation. Let me know your thoughts about all of that in the comment section. This is where we are going to be ending this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in another one.